I'm going to go ahead and turn up my sound before we get started because I noticed my voice is weaker than it used to be. So, this is one of the lessons that was free on Evolve, and so I wanted to try it with oils or acrylics because I'm waiting for my oils kit to get here, but I thought I was going to go ahead and try it. And what it is it's a perspective, and it does values. So the sun is coming this way, light, shadow, dark shadow. And so I'm going to go ahead and try and reproduce that with acrylic, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do. So what I have is a helix angle and circle marker, and I've gone ahead and I have drawn a 1.5 inch circle the whole way around, and then I've put the back of the table and the front of the table on here. So I have, let's see, I have my paper towel, and I have a filbert, a number 10 filbert, and I'm going to go ahead and use that. I have my water over there, and I have my paper plate. So I'm going to start with black licorice, and I know in oils they suggest you don't use the complete side of black, that you use more of a gray. And then I'm going to use my wicker white, and this is just an experiment, so we'll see how we do. Okay, I'm going to wet my filbert. Make sure there's no sizing in it. Sometimes when I wash them, I put a little bit of soap in them just to keep them soft. And this way, when I wet it, it not only gets it ready for painting, but it also gets any of that sizing out. So the easiest part to do is going to be the darkest black. And I'm going to try and make 4 values, and I'm probably not terribly good at it, but we're going to try. And this is just something to keep me busy while I wait for my kit. And you can already see I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting coverage. I would put down some floating medium, but it's not necessary. So I'm going to round that out just a little bit. And I'm going to finish this. So this is the easy part, doing the big black paint. That's the really easy part. And what I'm trying to work on is getting an understanding of values. And I know they teach this. When my kit gets here, I'll have access to videos. But for now, I'm just kind of playing, and like I said, this is just so that I can waste some time while I'm doing this. Okay, so that was okay. I'm excited. They talk about having a metal palette knife, and this is plastic, and I'm sure it can break if it's not treated nicely. So I'm going to take my white, and I'm going to make, well actually I'm going to get some more white. And I'm going to have 3 piles here. Now one I'm going to go ahead and leave white. And then one I'm going to take and create another grayscale. And this is tedious work, and I can imagine what doing this with oil paint is going to be like. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And then I'm going to take just a little bit and add into this. I don't want it to be quite as dark as the other gray. Again, I'm not trying to rush ahead with lessons. I'm just really just trying to be patient until my kit gets here. And that's the hardest part. When you start something new, you have to order it, wait, order it, wait, order it, wait. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wash that out. I'm going to wash out my brush and dab it on my paper to get most of the moisture out. Now, as you can see, this is going to be the lightest, so I might do this. I know they have you do the shadow first, but I'm going to do this. And with the oil paints, you don't use a pure white. You use another even lighter gray than this one. It's the value set. If you've seen a value set on the internet, or if you've taken art classes, the value set, some of them have 7 colors, some of them have 10, 9, 11. And the one, oh, I did that. That was not cool. I'll have to paint that again. That's okay. The one that they suggest you use only has 4 colors. And they don't include black or white. And I am using black and white with this project, just to kind of get a feel for it. But they break down with the 4 colors that they choose. They have 11 colors. They take the black and the white out, which leaves 9. And then they take 2 from the darkest darks and 2 from the lightest lights that you paint with. And from those, you can make 7 colors, actually, by mixing them. And I'm kind of excited to start doing that, because I've never dabbled in art. My daughter does, but I'm not the artist. She is. So the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up just a little bit. It looks kind of nasty. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush. And with oils, you don't really have to clean your brush, but with these acrylics, I do. So let's go ahead and do that. Now the next one I want to do is, I'm going to go ahead and use this one, and I'm going to paint. Now, what they say about the oils, and I can understand, is with oils, they stay wet for a while. They don't dry automatically. Acrylics dry fairly fast. And so when you get to do, this is going to look like a 2D project when I'm finished, because I am only using the 4 colors. And the problem with acrylics is, when you're painting with acrylics, they dry fast, but with oil, when I go to do the shade between this gray and the white, it's still wet, so it mixes in fairly nicely, and then you can get like almost a melting look. It almost looks like the gray melts into the white melts into the gray, and it works pretty well like that. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do that. With just acrylics. And these would be painted. This would be painted, and like I said, I haven't taken the class yet, so I don't quite know how it's going to work. But what they have you do then is they have you take, especially with the oil, they have you do a shade of the medium right there like that. And then you try to get the medium melted in to the darker color, which it's not doing real well. So see, with acrylic, it's just completely different. And then with the white, you try to get it to melt in with the white, and I'm not going to be able to do it. I can already see, oh, there it goes a little bit. But see, right now it's just a 2D. There is no fade. There is no cast. There's cast shadows, but there's no, I can't think what the other shadow is. And see, this is why it is very hard with acrylics to get that fade. And it doesn't quite do as well. Now, I might try this. I'm going to try and load half of my brush with white and half with the gray. I'm going to wash that in, and then I'm going to try and see yeah, it worked a little bit. And then I'm going to do the other way. I'm going to mix just a little bit of the light gray and a little bit of the dark gray. And I'm going to put it down this way. And it's a little better, but it's still, there's a lot to be desired with acrylic paint. Now, acrylics are great for a lot of things. I used to paint, when I was in high school, I painted 2 portraits, one of my sister and one of a boyfriend at the time. And it works really well for something like that. At least I could do it then. I don't think I could do it now. But you have to be a little bit more careful with acrylic when you're trying to paint a mixture. When you're trying to get it to shadow into each other, it just takes a little bit longer. And basically what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to see how well I do with the lines, because there's a lot of line work with the practice sheets that I'll be doing. And I'm a little shaky. I'm not too shaky. At my age, I'm a little shaky because of that. And I'm not shaky because of, at least not in my right hand, I'm not shaky because of my stroke. The stroke affected my left hand. And this is right-handed work that I'm doing. I can remember what was sad is I used to paint with my left hand. And I really enjoyed painting with my left hand. I could actually be more careful and not make as many boo-boos with my left hand as I did with my right hand. I had more control. So that's just kind of where we're at. So this is going to be my first project when I get my oil kit, and I'm really excited. It's really hard to be patient and not get in a hurry. So I thought I'd just go ahead, get on here and do this today, just to kind of give myself an idea. See, that just looks not so cool. It looks not so great. But again, it's acrylic. And as much as I have loved what I have done with acrylic, I also know that there are limitations with acrylic paint. Here we go. And now I have watched some videos with the acrylics, and you can't drag acrylic like this. See how I'm dragging it from one end to the other? You can't do that with oil paint. With oil paint, what I've noticed is they do a lot of this back and forth movement. And I think it's so much different than acrylic. But with acrylic, I can I can do this. Pretty much what you have to decide is what you are willing to do with your paints. And you can see, no, it's not too bad. When I look in the picture, it's not too bad. And then again, I would come here and clean this up a little bit. So that it looks a little bit like a finished picture, and this would be the wall. Now, the one thing I really found interesting when I was watching videos, I watched a lot of videos. I spent about almost a month watching videos, and these were YouTube videos of people who had taken this course. And what was really interesting to me is so many of the people who took this course ended with either, the second or third block, and there are 8 blocks in this course. They ended with the second or third block, and they didn't make more videos. And I don't think it's because they didn't like the program. I doubt that it's because they didn't finish. They probably finished, but I think you get, after about the 4th lesson, from what I've seen of their pictures and things, they get really good. And so instead of making videos with just these, they get more excited about being able to make real products. And that's not so good right there. And then, of course, what they would do, then they would make the shadow recede just a little bit. And I'm going to try and do it just like I did with this. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the gray and a little bit of the dark, and I'm going to soften that edge. Yeah, it makes it look like it recedes into the background a little bit. So you can tell I'm pretty excited to get my oil kit, and one of the young ladies that I did watch her video, she said it can take up to 2 weeks. So I'm just going to kind of keep busy until then and just practice with acrylics. Maybe not the lessons that I'll be doing with oils, but I'll probably just be doing other acrylic painting, kind of like the 1 strokes that I've been doing already, and getting those done. And see, with the acrylic here, I can just smash the paint on. But again, like I said, with oil, I've noticed they do a back and forth, almost a scrubbing motion to get their paint where they want it to be. And so I'm sure I have a lot to learn, but I'm excited to learn it. Okay, thanks for joining me. This was just kind of fun. Nothing spectacular, just kind of fun. I hope to see you again.